Fletch walked in on Mr. Andrews and me.
What do you mean, walked in on you?
Well, we're in the library together, and it was really romantic, you know, and there was just the two of us together, you know.
Yeah?
I kissed him.
You what?
God, talk about a fast work.
How's that about you, Doreen? You're always in bloody trouble.
No, well, the way Fletcher's carrying on, I reckon David's in more trouble than I
I
am.
wouldn't be surprised. He'd probably lose his job over it.
Good riddance. If he doesn't want to teach us what we want to know, what's he doing here?
Well, it wasn't his fault. I thought I should take my chance while I could.
Yeah, OK. Well, you got caught, didn't you? Now, listen, if the screws think he's to blame, you let them. Tell them he made a pass at you.
Can't do that. He didn't do anything.
Listen, regardless of what happens to you, he's going to walk out of here as free as a bird.
He's right, you know, love. He won't be here long anyway. I mean, he's bloody useless. So what's the point in risking loss of privileges or even the pound for the likes of him?
But it wasn't his fault. Do you reckon he will get the boot, Lizzie?
I don't know, love. Probably. But you don't need to feel bad about it.
Why not? It was my fault.
Nah. If he hadn't wanted you to, he wouldn't have let you.
You reckon?
Of course.
Don't go getting our hopes up, Lizzie.
What do you mean?
Whether he does or he doesn't make any difference. I mean, they're hardly going to give him the use of a cell for a couple of hours now, are they?
You're very crude sometimes, Bea. There's more to being with a bloke than that.
Oh, is there really, Lizzie?
Of course. Take me and Sid. I mean, we're too old for that sort of thing, but we just like talking.
Yeah, well, I like just talking to David, too.
Well, it's a pity you didn't do a little more talking and a little less necking.
It was just one kiss.
And look at the trouble it caused.
Oh, nothing's going to come of me and Sid. Still, it's nice while it lasts.
Yeah, you're right. I suppose you've got to grab your chance while you can. Like when Ken used to come in here. I knew it wasn't going to do me any good, but you got to make the most of it.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I was doing, Bea. See, that's what I was doing, grabbing my chance.
Yeah, well, now your chance is gone, kiddo. You blew it. Kaput. So there's no point brooding over it. All you can do now is sit back and wait until the next time.
You lot, hurry up. Move it.
Now, Vera make a good drover. What do you reckon, Lizzie?
Now you should run all the fat off the cows and make them all scrawny like me.
If you'd prefer cleaning the toilets to washing in the laundry...
Oh, just going, Vera.
See you later, Dor.
Yeah, have a good time at school today, Doreen. I hear he's starting sex education class.
Was that Kent?
Nothing, Miss Bennett.
If you're maligning an officer, you'll find yourself in solitary.
No, it was just a joke. Something we're talking about at breakfast.
Yeah, about our new teacher, Randy Andy.
I've warned you, Smith.
Did you warn us about Mr. Andrews? I don't think he did. Then he would have touched you, probably.
What are you talking about?
He was all over Doreen like a rash last night.
Now, that's enough of that. Now, get to the laundry.
Don't believe me. Ask Mr. Fletcher. He saw it all.
Get to the laundry. And you're late for your lesson.
It'll be lovely to have an afternoon out.
You're only going to the hospital. I can think of better places.
Well, at least get me out of this dump for a while.
Getting out of this dump for a while didn't seem to do Jude any good.
Yeah. Poor old Judy. Hey, where's she gone with all that dirty washing? She should have been back ages ago.
And the way she's been lately, we'll be lucky if she's back by lunch.
Poor old Jude.
Yeah. We thought we had troubles when we were stuck in that bloody drain. Well, well, look what the cat dragged in. And what's up with you?
Your bloody fault. What'd you have to go and tell Vera about me and David for?
She would have heard from Fletch sooner or later, and it's better she hear our version first. Anyway, how come he out of classes? Have they given him the bullet already?
No, because they won't let him and me be on our own, and no one else gives a damn, and so the classes have been cancelled.
Has he come, has he go?
Well, Lizzie, you'd come, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't. Rude bugger he is.
Well, he was only telling you straight. You're too old to be a lawyer. Why don't you take up pottery or finger painting or something?
Because I'm not interested.
Bea?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind learning a trade. How about locksmith?
Oh, be serious.
Oh, serious, be buggered. Listen, when I was your age, I was in love with Peter Finch, and I had about as much chance of getting off with him as you do with David Andrews.
Hell, me with Errol Flynn.
Look, love, there is no point pining after something you can't have. Understand?
Come on, Dora will never be finished at this rate.
Oh, sorry, Lizzie. Just that I feel so bad about what happened to Dave, and I can't even get to see him to apologise.
All right. That does it. I'm sick to death of you mooning around like some kind of lovesick calf, Doreen. Now, I've tried being nice, and I've even tried mollycoddling you, but the old patience is wearing just a bit thin. Now, either you buck yourself up or you go and work somewhere else.
All right, Lizzie, time to... What's the matter here?
No, nothing, Mrs. J.
Come on, Mrs. Morris now.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking.
All right, Lizzie, time for your appointment.
Beauty! See you later, girls.
Hey, slow down, otherwise you'll have another attack.
Who, me? I'm as strong as an ox. Me old ticker's gonna last a long time yet.
Doreen?
Oh, David.
Hey, what's going on?
I just want to speak to Doreen for a moment.
It's okay, B. I'm sorry about what happened last
Look,
night.
let's just forget about what happened last night.
But I got you into trouble with Mrs. Davidson.
Well, it wasn't altogether your fault. I should have let you know where I stand. Now, I don't want you to think that I don't like you, Doreen, because I do, but I can't let it go any further. You do understand that, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
I think it's unfair that you've been stopped from attending my classes, but, well, we've all got to follow the rules.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Andrews, may I ask why you're interrupting a work period? You are aware of Mrs. Davidson's ruling about Burns?
Naturally, Miss Bennett, Doreen Burns is not to be alone with me, but as you can see, we're hardly alone.
Then what are you doing here?
I came to announce a new course I intend to bring in.
First I'd heard of it.
What was that, Smith?
I said I wish he'd get on with it.
Well, you've all given me your opinions about the course I was going to run. It's obvious I have to rethink my program. Now, the Education Department has recently introduced a course called Modern Living, which deals with household budgeting, simple accounting, buying real estate. You know, a course designed to help you cope with everyday living.
Oh, great. I buy real estate every day of the week. It'll come in real handy.
Well, it'd be of more use to you than algebra or English grammar. Anyway, have a think about it and let me know. Thank you, Miss Bennett.
Now get back to work. All of you.
Isn't he terrific?
Oh, wake up, Australia. What is it going to take to make you realise he is not interested in you?
He is. He just had to say all that sort of stuff in case Mrs. Davidson kicked him out. He's gone out of his way to get this special course going just so I can go back to his classes.
Yeah, protecting his job's more like it. They're not going to pay a teacher who hasn't got any students, now are they?
Yeah, he's protecting his job. Well, that's all right. He's got to live. Just you wait. We're going to have something real special going for us soon.
Say one thing for him, he's got a silver tongue. Mrs. Morris was determined we weren't going to go to the park, but he soon talked her around.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't fancy his chances with Vera.
But what about the tests, Lizzie?
Hey. Oh, me ticker, like I said, strong as an ox. Anyway, just as we got in the park...
Hey, Jude, do you fancy joining us for a foursome?
What?
A game of cards.
Oh, no thanks.
What's up with her?
I don't know. I wish to hell she'd snap out of it.
All right, pay attention. This is Sandra Hamilton. She'll be staying in this block. Smith, you can introduce her around.
Sure thing, Vera. Oh, sorry, Miss Bennett. What'd you get, love?
3 whole weeks for driving without a license.
Just a baby. This is Lizzie and Doreen.
Hi.
Is it your first time in, love?
Yes.
Over here we've got Lorna, Lil, Bev, and that's Judy.
Oh, you're Judy Bryant, aren't you? I've seen you on the TV.
Oh, well, that's terrific. As long as you didn't listen to the words.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was great. I thought you were great, the way you exposed all those rotten things in prison.
Rotten things. Now, that is a dead issue. You don't see anything rotten here, do you?
Come on, Sandra. How about joining us for a game of cards?
Okay.
How'd you get picked up, love?
It's a long story.
Listen, one thing we are not short of here is time.
Morning, ladies. Rise and shine.
Good morning, Mrs. Morris. Morning, Jude.
Yeah.
Oh, top of the morning to you, B. And the same to you, Jude. My, aren't we a happy little bunch?
And go to the showers now. Then you'll come back, make your bed and tidy your cell. After that, there will be a bell for muster, and then you go to breakfast. These ladies will show you where the showers are.
Ah, hi, Bea. Doreen. Lizzie.
What do you know? Human being, first thing in the morning. You better stick with me, kid. There's not many of us left.
True. Who's the screw?
No, this Mrs. Morris.
Used to be Jackson.
Oh, seems decent enough.
Oh, she is. You wait till you get to know Vinegar Tits.
Which one's she?
Oh, you know, Miss Bennett. Stick you in the pound, soon as look at you.
The pound?
Solitary.
Oh, right. Have you got any weed on you? Got some tailors in my cell.
Wouldn't leave them lying around if I were you.
Don't worry, I got them well hidden.
What's up, B?
Oh, nothing. I don't think.
Are you going to be coming to the classes they have in here?
I didn't know they had any.
Oh, yeah, they've only just started up with Mr. Andrews. He's the teacher and he's real good.
When Judy was on the TV,
Oh, yeah, well, you see, it was because of Judy that we got the teacher in here, because the governor went on to the TV program and she said that what Judy had been saying was a whole lot of rubbish, so they had to do something pretty quick, smart, just to make it look...
Hamilton, you're here for a shower, not a gossip.
It's Vinegar Tits. Oh, I was just telling her about the classes, Miss Bennett.
Thanks, Doreen. But I don't think I'll bother. I mean, I'll only be here for 3 weeks.
Oh,
Why don't you wash your teeth while you're waiting? Might stop you talking for 5 minutes.
yes, Miss Bennett.
Good morning, Judy.
Is it?
Miss Bennett's a bit of a monster, isn't she?
Yeah.
She one of the reasons you did that videotape.
Vinegar. She's tame compared to Gillespie. He had his way. He had machine gun turrets on the bloody roof.
Was he a screw too?
They're all screws.
But did he have more authority than the governor?
Well, how the hell should I know? That's the department.
Judy, how did you make that tape? I mean, did you have friends in television or something?
Listen, if you think that I'm going to stand around here having a big conversation with you in the middle of my shower, you got rocks in your head.
Sorry. I just thought that you must
Oh,
have
put a
had friends.
cork in it, will you?
Hey, Sandy. Something you have to learn about this place is that we respect each other's privacy. Now, if they don't want to talk to you, don't press it. Got it?
Got it. Hi.
No touching, Hamilton.
I'm sorry, Mr. Fletcher.
You getting on all right?
Oh, yes, yeah, fine. How's Granny?
Oh, she's fine. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Yeah.
You know, it's her birthday on the 4th, don't you?
The 4th?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course, the 4th. Tell Granny that I've met that prisoner, the one we saw on the telly.
Judy Bryant?
Yes, that one.
No talking about the other prisoners, Hamilton. Just keep it personal, okay?
Well, then I'm going to need a present.
What for?
Granny, if it's her birthday, you know, I'll need a present.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What should I get her?
I thought of perfume, and I thought of jewelry, but then she already has so many rings.
Well, how about a brooch or a pendant or something?
A brooch? Yes, that'd be terrific, wouldn't it? Oh, but I'm going to need to give you some money.
Oh, no, that's all right. You can pay me when you get out.
Oh, Gary, you are so sweet.
Hamilton.
Oh, no touching. Well, thanks. Granny is going to be very, very pleased.
Yeah. So tell me, how they've been treating you?
Oh, not bad. In fact, it's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah? Food's all right, is it?
Hey, Jude, you fancy giving me a spell in the press for a while? What's up, love?
With me, nothing.
Oh, come on, you are not your usual chirpy self. Now, Auntie B listens to everyone's problems, even yours.
I don't know what's wrong. It's just everything seems to be getting on top of me lately.
You had a pretty rough trot on the outside, didn't you?
It all started in the tunnel. Poor Irene getting killed. Seems everybody I get involved with drops dead. Irene, Sharon.
Sharon's death had nothing to do with you, and you know it. At least you gave that bastard Stuart something to think about.
Yeah. And I hope they give him hell at Pentridge.
What do you imagine had happened to Vera if she ended up on this side of the bars?
Yeah, there was Wally, too. Another victim of the Bryant touch. And Mickey.
You don't know about those two. They probably got off with a warning. Mickey didn't end up in here, did she?
Well, there's been nothing in the news.
Oh, no news is good news, eh?
Yeah.
So aren't you getting down the dumps about nothing? Come on, out with it.
You never worked as a prostitute, did you?
I thought that was the problem.
I used to know some of them in the gay bars, you know. I used to be treated like dirt by everybody in the place. It wasn't always their faults. I mean, yeah, some of them had habits to support, but some of them had little kids that they had to support because some bastard had run out on them. I always swore I'd never get that bad.
But you had a damn good reason too, Jude.
Did I?
Well, how else could you have got Jock Stewart?
I'll tell you what I was gonna do. I was gonna kill him. Then I end up working for him. Now, that's crazy.
Well, what you did was better. He's gonna have to live with that for a damn long time, and I wouldn't be in his shoes for anything. Now, isn't that worth turning yourself in for?
Turning myself in was easy. Just if it was worth it.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you think would happen to Vera if she was in here?
They'd probably stick her in isolation so we couldn't get at her.
Exactly. And don't you think they have isolation at Pentridge?
Oh, leave him. He's trying to cheer poor old Jude up, that's all.
Hey, Doreen. It's best I could do in the time.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, it's a cheap one, but it's the thought that counts.
Oh, I owe you for this, Sandy. I'm just going to the kitchen, Lizzie.
The door you just been. Oh, God, what's she up to now?
Well, well, look who's back. Roll out the red carpet. Where the hell have you been?
Just needed an excuse to get out for a while.
Oh, yeah, and how is Mr. Andrews?
How did you know?
Didn't take much figuring out. What's Sandy Hamilton got to do with it?
Well, I wanted to give him something, a present, and she gave me a ring.
What? Let me see.
That's a bit of a butch-looking ring for a woman, isn't it?
How did she get this in?
Oh, well, her boyfriend must have slipped it to her when he came in to visit.
You know, for a first-timer, she knows the ropes just a bit too well.
Yeah, there's something funny about her, strikes me.
Yeah, well, I reckon she's a pain in the ass. She's always hanging around me asking me questions just because I was on TV.
You have to get rid of that, Doreen. And we are going to find out a bit more about our Miss Hamilton.
I only wanted to give him something nice.
Yeah, but Bee's right. If the screws spot that, you'll have a lot of explaining to do. Tell you what, how about giving him something personal, you know? Knit him some socks or something like that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I got some bits and pieces of wool in my cell. Geez, Lizzie, you should have seen the way he stuck up for me in front of Vera, you know?
G'day, Jude.
Oh, it's you.
Mind if I come in, have a chat?
No, suit yourself.
Listen, I'm sorry if I upset you before. Didn't mean to pry. It's just, oh, well, it's like meeting a film star or something, a celebrity.
I'm pretty sick and tired of the way the media take everything and just change it around to suit themselves. They don't report facts anymore. Just their impressions of the facts or some political view that their boss has.
You mean like everything they said about your claims was lies?
Oh, no, it wasn't lies. Not lies. They just gloss over the facts, you know. Facts like that Gillespie would still be here if we hadn't escaped, that the place would be run like a concentration camp. They branded me as a danger to society because I tried to expose the fact that they covered up Jock Stewart killing Sharon Gilmore. Now, what's the point in talking about this? You can't change a system.
Oh, no, Jude, that's not completely true. Some people have.
Yeah, well, thousands have been crippled trying.
Well, still, you sure gave them a run for their money before they caught you, didn't
They didn't catch me. I gave myself up.
Really? Why?
I don't want to talk about this, Sandy.
Sorry. Sure. I just find it fascinating that you spent so long on the run, you know. You must have had help, huh?
Will you excuse me? Oh, watch where you're going, Doreen.
Geez, you're in a hurry. Where's Sandy?
Oh, in my cell.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up with Jude?
Oh, I think I upset her, Doreen. I'm a bit of a nosy person, really. I ask a lot of questions, but I kind of get excited when I meet someone who's been on the TV.
Well, she's a bit down lately. She's been like that ever since she got back. But look, what I wanted to really see you about was I wanted to give you this back.
Didn't work, huh?
No, he said he couldn't take it.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, you keep it anyway.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can. Gary doesn't need it. And anyway, it's a gift, one friend to another.
Yeah. I'd rather give it back, honest. I mean, thanks and everything, but...
All right. Well, I'll keep it safe, and if you ever need it, you know where it is.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Doreen, you know that escape that happened?
Yeah.
Were you around at the time?
Oh, of course I was. I was in it.
You were?
Yeah. You see, we got out through this tunnel that led into the cellars, and the roof collapsed. I hurt my leg. I still get a twinge every now and again, but I was lucky I didn't have to have it off.
Really? Hey, that must have been exciting.
No, it was scary, really.
Oh. Well, could you, tell me about it?
Sure, if you're interested.
Yeah, I am.
Well, Lizzie was the first one with the idea, so she found this book that was all about Wentworth about 100 years ago.
Bloody woman.
Oh, we're allowed to ask or do a guess.
Sandy.
What's she up to now?
I don't know what it is about her, you know? But every time she gets near me, she drives me mad. She gives me the 3rd degree.
You're not the only one, love.
Who else?
Practically everyone I've spoken to. You know, there's something pretty fishy about that lady. She knows as much jargon as any old lag I've ever met. And it's pretty funny the way she managed to get that ring in for Doreen. If she's a first-timer, I'm Father Christmas.
What do you reckon? You think she's working for the Screws?
I don't know. All the women I spoke to said the same thing. They reckon that she asked questions about you and the escape.
Me?
Yeah. Now, like I said, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if our Miss Hamilton is working for the police. To Burke, in my bikini.
Well, that'll give the cow cockies a couple of things to think about.
Yeah, and Stampede the cattle, too, I'll bet.
Yeah, anyway, well, listen. If Hamilton is a plant, we want to make very sure that she doesn't get any information out of us that we don't want her to, all right? Yeah. And there's one sure way of doing that. We send her to Coventry. And that means no one, and I mean no one, says a word to her about anything. Now, is that clear? Yes. Yeah.
What's up?
Well, B reckons that Sandra's been sent in here to spy on us, so we're going to send her to Birmingham.
Coventry.
And what do we know about her? Practically nothing.
Well, I do admit that she's been asking a few questions, but I thought that was just because she was interested in what was going on in the place.
Yeah, too interested.
She been on at you too?
Oh, well, she's asked me a few questions, but I wouldn't call it pumping me.
What sort of questions?
About the escape.
About me?
Yeah, sort of.
Bloody hell!
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I just thought she was being friendly.
Remember, not another word.
So this is where all the action is?
Some of us are going to watch this movie. So let's just have a bit of shush. Huh?
Oh, God, not that one again. They must have played this one 3 times in the last couple of months. What you knitting?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Anyone want a game of cards?
14,
or a chat?
16, 18, 22, 24.
I don't think I can really cope with all this excitement. Might as well go write some letters.
Write some letters. I bet at least one of them starts off, Dear Superintendent.
Oh, I'm sure I'm not going to have enough wool to finish these. I'm going to have to wait until the buy-up now.
Oh, I got some wool you can have, honey.
Oh, terrific, Jude. You sure you don't need it?
Well, when I need it, I got no one to knit for. I'll go and get it for you.
Oh, thanks.
Poor old Jude. She's not back to her old self.
No. I think it's going to take quite a while for her to get over what happened to her on the run.
Oh, Mr. Fletcher.
What is it, Hamilton?
I'd like to make my telephone call, please.
Can't it wait till morning?
No, it can't wait. I'd like to make it now. My boyfriend works early and I'd be liable to miss him.
Well, it's a bit late and I'm on my rounds.
Oh, I thought it would be an ideal time. Besides, I don't remember reading anything in the regulations about time limitations. May I make my call?
All right, but keep it brief. Since you know your regulations so well, you know how much time you're allowed.
I certainly do, Mr. Fletcher.
Sid'll be in tomorrow. Hope we have a chance for a bit of a chin wag.
Oh, hello, young lovers.
Oh, shut up, Bea. You know there's nothing like that.
I don't know. The fire alarm may not be out. Perhaps it just needs a bit of stoking up. Talking about young lovers, have a gander at Madame Defarge over here.
Huh?
Madame Defarge. She'd sit in the front row of the crowd during the French Revolution, right by the guillotine, and knit like mad while they cut people's heads off.
Oh, how'd you know that?
I saw it once in a movie. It's the only thing I know about the French Revolution. That's all I remember, probably because it was so bloodthirsty. As the heads rolled off the block into the basket, she used to knit away like mad and cackle. Blood, blood, blood.
Oh, knock it off, Bea. Give me nightmares.
Oh, bugger it. Where's your torch, Bea?
Over here, why?
I want to finish these tonight.
Oh, don't be a nut. You'll flatten my batteries.
Quit griping. If I flatten them, I'll replace them.
Good night, Dor.
Good night.
Night, Bea.
Pleasant dreams.
Oh, knock it off, Bea! Did you get any sleep at all, love?
Oh, not much. But at least I finished them.
Big deal. So the teacher gets a crummy pair of socks, and I get a pair of flat torch batteries.
Well, I'm sorry, Bea. I said if they ran out, I'd replace them. Anyway, I just had to get these finished for today.
Thanks.
All right, showers.
Come on, move along. Back to your cells and get ready for breakfast. Hurry up, Burns. Hamilton, shake a leg.
Oh,
Young, Cavelli, cut that out. You're not a couple of school kids, you know.
Now's our chance. Why don't we just race in there and hold her under the hot tap for a while?
Haven't you heard if you overwater plants, it sometimes kills them?
That'd be a shame.
Listen, just be patient. It's not as though this is the first time we've handled this sort of problem.
Yeah, well, I'm getting sick of her asking me all those questions. I try to forget the past, and she keeps reminding me of it.
Don't you worry, love. At least she knows we're on to her. All we got to do is keep our guard up.
Yeah, well, there's one guy that's going to be up in the air if we don't get going. Come on, Doreen, are you coming or not?
Yeah, I'll be a couple of minutes. You go on and I'll catch
God,
up.
you're as slow as a wet weekend. You know, if you got more sleep last night, you'd be a whole lot brighter this morning.
Hi.
Hi. Thought I'd been sent to Coventry.
Oh, I was just wondering if you were going to go to the education centre this morning.
Well, I hadn't exactly planned on it. Still trying, are you?
Oh, no, it's just that I'm the only one that's really interested and I'm not allowed to be in there. Well, what I meant was, I'd like to have a bit of company. Why don't you come? It'd be really interesting.
Well, I'm not exactly cherishing the idea of spending a day being ignored, and you're the only person who seems to be friendly, so why not?
Oh, that's great. Oh, I won't be able to let the others see us talking together, you understand?
I understand.
Are you two still in here? Come on, move along.
I'm just leaving. You let me get up the corridor a bit first, okay?
So that's the kitchen and dining room roster for the afternoon shift. Now, is anyone interested in attending classes this morning?
Yes, I'd like to.
Anyone else? Oh, surprise, surprise. Burns. Adams. All right, off to breakfast, all of you. Well, go on, hurry.
Oh, for crying out loud, why don't you watch where the hell you're going? You think I enjoy folding and stacking these bloody things all day long?
Oh, don't worry, love. I'll help you.
I'll do it myself. Oh, listen, I'm sorry. It's just that everything's getting on top of me at the moment. When I was on the outside, it drove me crazy, and it's driving me crazy in here. Everything I try to do goes wrong somehow.
What are you talking about? Look how you helped us when you were on the outside.
Yeah, well, fat lot of good that did, didn't it? All I ended up doing was making myself out to be a liar and a fool.
Well, at least you tried, and that's what it's important.
Well, I'll tell you what I should have done. I should have headed for the hills and disappeared when I had the chance instead of trying to fight a system that can't be beaten.
Maybe. But what it did show was that you weren't just looking after yourself. When you got the chance, you thought of your friends first. And don't forget, it was you that finally put that bastard Jock Stewart where he belongs.
Yeah. Well, at least that helped settle the score for Sharon. Doesn't bring her back, though.
Yeah, well. Hey, I wonder why our mystery woman went to the centre today.
Well, I couldn't care less. At least it gets her out of my hair for a while.
Maybe she's woken up the fact that we're on to her. Or maybe she's got the message that we're not speaking to her, so she decided to stop snooping.
Oh, I doubt it. Doreen went to classes again today, didn't she? Maybe she thinks that she can get something out of Doreen when they're around.
Doreen wouldn't do that. Not after you told her to keep her trap shut last night.
Yeah, well, she better not. Trouble with Doreen is, though, she's so lovesick over that damn teacher, she can blab her head off without even thinking about it.
All right, who's on trolley duty today? There's still a load to be picked up from the examination room.
Oh, I am, Mr. Fletcher. I'm just on my way now. Hey, Mr. Fletcher, have you seen Sid? The wheels on this trolley need oiling.
No, I haven't. You know, I don't know how we ever got on without him. I've never known so many things to go wrong at the same time.
Because the equipment in this joint is older than me.
And she lives on her own, so I'm a bit worried about her. I was wondering if I could make a quick phone call.
Oh, yes, that's quite understandable. Let's go to reception and see what we can work out.
Yeah, well, I was coming back from getting that wool for Doreen. I overheard Sandy asking Fletcher if she could make a phone call.
That's funny. She made another one just before lunch today.
Well, that's 2 in 2 days. Smacks of special treatment, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, it was obvious from the way she was talking to him. She knew the regulations. That's a bit much for a first-timer, don't you think?
You know, I reckon it's about time we dropped a hint to the screws that we're onto her. Hang on. Hey, Lil.
I better go and find Dora and see if she's all right. She was right behind me in the rec room when we was going to lunch, and she never turned up.
Yeah, I'll wait for Becky.
Yeah, she knew all about the socks, and she said how rotten they were. He must have told her the whole thing, and it was supposed to be a secret. Oh, God, I hate him. And he can stick his bloody stinking glasses. I'll never go back there again.
Well, there's another score to settle. It's going to be a busy day, isn't it? Lizzie, you and I are going to go to those classes this afternoon.
Come in. Well, I must say how pleased I am to see such an improved attendance this afternoon. If you'd all like to sit down, I'll explain some of the courses available, and then we'll make a start. Sit down. Well, first of all, I'd like to talk about a course called Modern Living.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Before we start, we'd just like to get a few of the rules clear.
Such as?
As we're going to be working so closely together, it's possible you might pick up the odd bit of personal information about us, right?
Yes, I suppose so. Why?
Well, we just want to know if you're going to pass those bits of personal information over to the screws. The same way you did with Doreen Burns. And at present, she sat up all night knitting for you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come off it. I bet you and Vera had a damn good laugh over the way Doreen feels about you and the funny little present she made for you. Now, you're not going to deny that, are you?
I most certainly do deny that. That's not what happened at all. It was a very kind and thoughtful gesture. That's why I mentioned it to Miss Bennett. I certainly didn't ridicule Doreen or her motives. She is the only loyal supporter of the school.
Well, as you can see, she isn't any longer.
Yes, well, Doreen was a little confused about our relationship because I took a bit of notice of her and tried to help her. That's my job. I thought I'd explain that to her.
And you didn't lead her on?
No, of course not. And if that's why you're all here this afternoon, then we're all just wasting our time. You might as well all go back to your usual jobs and leave the classes for those who want to get a bit more out of their lives.
Okay, Teach. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt this time. Go on, improve our lousy lives. God knows, they couldn't be any worse than they are already.
Right. Well, I'd like to start us off by having a game which is a little like Monopoly. Only instead of the usual game, we're going to use our money to work out budgets for different kinds of households. This is to enable us to use our available finances to the best effect.
Hey, better listen to this, Lizzie. Might teach you how to get more value for your money out of the buy-ups.
Exactly. So you see, you're not going to learn something that you might not ever use. The whole idea of this course is designed to make it easier for us to understand how to deal with day-to-day problems.
Hey, can I be the banker?
I think that'll be a great idea.
Oh, illusions of grandeur already.
This whole area has to be mopped and cleaned thoroughly. And make sure you get right into all the corners. I'll be back to check it. Hamilton, what happened to you?
Oh, nothing. I must have been a bit clumsy. I slipped on a wet patch.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So I hit my head, I think. I'm fine. I'll live. What's the matter? You think I've been mugged it, did you?
So, you owe the bank $134 for your mortgage, plus the bank fees of $13.40. Oh, we're out of change. How'd you like to invest the 60 cents change in our new scheme at 9.5% interest? Whatever that means. Well, you'll just have to take a cheque. Bloody money grubber.
Hey, Lizzie, how about a loan of a couple of hundred till tomorrow?
Bank's closed.
Oh, crikey.
Well, what do you think? Will I see you tomorrow?
I don't know. I'll have to check with my private secretary to see if I can fit you in. Tell you one thing, though. Beck's working in the laundry.
Oh, I reckon it's beaut. I'm going to have a word with Dora and see if she can't change her mind about not coming back.
Oh, thanks, Lizzie. I'll look forward to seeing all of you again. Soon.
Here, what's the matter, Hamilton?
Oh, nothing. I'm fine. Hamilton had an accident in the showers this morning.
Well, what happened?
Well, she says she slipped on the wet floor and hit her head.
Hamilton?
That's right. I was a bit clumsy.
You better go to the examination room and get checked out.
Oh, no.
Look, if you've hit your head, you could have concussion.
Mrs. Knox, would you mind taking Hamilton to the examination room?
I'll be fine.
You heard Mrs. Morris. Go to the examination room and no argument. All right?
But I can assure you it'll just be a waste of time.
And Hamilton, if you happen to have any more accidents, I expect you to report them.
You don't seem entirely convinced it was an accident.
You noticed how the other women have been treating her lately?
Yes, a bit offhandedly, but she's only new. Maybe they're just a bit wary.
They've sent her to Coventry. Now, why?
Well, they're always playing games amongst themselves, but that doesn't mean to say they had her bashed.
You know the pattern in here? Either conform and buckle under or pay the consequences.
She's a strange girl. There's something about her that just doesn't quite fit.
Well, I think she bears watching. The last thing we need is another accident like Kay White had.
Just saw Sandy coming out of the medical examination room. She was pretty shaky on her pins.
Wonder why. Any reaction from the screws?
That's just the point. Not a word.
Nothing at all.
I would have thought there would have been some kerfuffle.
At least.
Maybe she didn't tell them.
Well, maybe she did tell them they're not doing anything about it for a while.
Or why would they do that?
Who knows? Listen, everybody. We're going to change our tactics. This time we're going to get Hamilton talking and we are going to do the pumping, and I want to know everything there is to know about her.
I wish to God you'd make up your mind. I'm flat out trying to remember who I talk to and who I don't.
You'll encourage her to do the talking and talk about herself, and let me know if you learn anything.
Well, I think it's a whole bloody big waste of time.
If she is a plant, you've got as much to lose as anybody else, and you just shut up and do as you're told.
Oh, you're back already. How are the classes?
Not bad. What happened to you? You look awful. Did you slip down in the showers or something?
You've heard already. Yes, I guess I must have trodden on a piece of soap. Over I went.
What you need is a nursemaid.
No, I don't need a nursemaid. What I need is someone to talk to. Feel like telling me why you've all decided to give me the cold shoulder all of a sudden?
Oh, we always do that to newcomers until we find out whether they're all right or not, especially the ones that ask too many questions.
Look, I only did that because I'd seen Judy on the TV. I was beginning to think it was my deodorant. I mean, the only one who'd talked to me was Vera Bennett, and that was to give me dirty jobs. Well, have you decided yet?
I have, and that's what counts. He'll do.
Where'd he come from, Sandy?
Bentley.
I thought you said you came from Sydney.
No. I said I'd stayed in Sydney back in '73. Been looking for work, but it's a hell of a lonely place if you haven't any friends.
What place isn't?
Yeah, right, like here. I mean, they put me in this tiny cell all by myself, going crazy for company, someone to talk to.
You can still get lonely even when you've only got women to share with.
Yeah, but it's certainly better than nothing. I mean, what do you think, Judy? You don't share with anyone?
I don't know, because it's better than sharing with someone you don't like.
Yeah. Still, I think you and I get on just fine if we got to know each other.
Come in. Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Davidson. Hamilton would like to see you.
All right, Mrs. Powell, show her in.
Right?
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you, Mrs. Davidson, but I was wondering if there's any chance of being moved to another cell.
This is not a hotel, Hamilton. We can't move the guests around just because they don't like the view.
I know that, and ordinarily I wouldn't ask. It's just...
Well?
It sounds so silly when you put it into words.
Hamilton, I have a lot of work to get through, so...
I get lonely.
I see. Well, all of the women get lonely from time to time.
But they have someone to share with, you know, some company, someone to talk to, and that's all I ask.
I'll look into it and see if it's possible.
Well, Judy Bryant, she's in a double cell, and there's no one with her, and...
I said I would look into it.
Don't bother to knock. Now, what the hell's going on here?
Got yourself a guest?
I don't want to share. I'm perfectly happy on my own. Please, Mrs. Powell, can't she go somewhere else?
Well, I'm afraid it really isn't up to you or me. Anyhow, you've been on your own too long now. The company will do you good.
I like being on my own. I want to see the governor. Mrs. Powell.
Quiet, Brian.
Well, you never let up, do you? Now, how did you manage this little trick?
Oh, come on, Jude. It wasn't a trick.
How did you manage it?
I asked the governor.
Did it ever occur to you to ask me first?
I asked Mrs. Jackson what had happened to Sid, but she said he was probably working somewhere else. But he told me there wasn't much work outside here, he told me.
Ah, for crying out loud, will you lay off it? He doesn't have to ask your permission every time he doesn't want to turn up to work, does he?
No, of course not, but he told me he'd be here, and he wouldn't have said that if he's working somewhere else.
Well, maybe it's something that came up suddenly.
Oh, something that took him all night and all day, stopped him from even ringing in.
Well, you know what I reckon, was he? I reckon he was picked up by a big blonde harlot who took him home last night. And when he woke up this morning, he was so weak he couldn't walk. But he remembered he'd promised to come out here to see you, so he started crawling on his hands and knees. And by now, he should be doing a slow right-hand turn into Burke Road.
Well, I wouldn't care so much about the harlot as long as I knew Sid was all right.
Look, would you two shut up and go to bed? I'm trying to get some sleep.
Hark at the midnight knitter over here. You kept me awake all last night with your click, click, clicking.
Drop it, Bea. I know I've been a fool, but I'll get even with him.
No, you won't. I reckon he was right. And I reckon you were so keen on him that when he tried to explain it to you, you didn't listen.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, I want those classes to go on, so don't you go doing anything that's going to get him into trouble.
Oh, now I get the picture. He's got to you, too. Wonder how long it'll be before he starts working his way through the screws.
Oh, come on. There was nothing devious in it. It was just... I got so damn lonely in there by myself.
Really?
Yeah. And you always look so sad, Jude. You look like someone who's been knocked around. Thought maybe I could help.
Yeah, well, if I need help, I'll call the RSPCA, okay?
I've always found that when I was troubled, it really did help to just talk to someone.
Well, it just shows you how different people are.
Yeah. Well, I guess I better get undressed. Must be nearly time for lights out. God. I hate these clothes. Feels so good to just get out of them. At home, I always sleep in the raw. Much freer, don't you think? Well, I'm ready for bed. But I'm just not tired. Are you?
Sandy, piss off.
Good morning, ladies. Welcome to anyone who's here for the first time.
That wouldn't be hard.
If you'd all like to sit down, I'll organise you into pairs for the exercise I've planned for today.
Can't get away from her.
Oh, no.
Doreen has decided not to show up this morning.
Oh, no, she's finding the classes a bit draining emotionally.
Well, that's a shame. She could be a good student.
Are you sure that's the only reason you're missing it?
Any discussion on that subject was closed yesterday.
Fair enough.
Excuse me, Mr. Andrews. Hamilton has a visitor.
Maybe it isn't such a bad idea to share with you after all.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
Try and find out who that visitor was.
Right. Well, I'd like to start off by discussing an aspect of one of your favourite subjects, money.
Oh? When do we get to discuss our other favourite subject?
I thought you'd all majored in that already.
G'day. Writing your memoirs? Now, I know. Writing up plans for your next escape. You never did tell me what it was like on the outside. It's interesting, really. There you were on the run. Had your chance. Could have gotten away, but deliberately drew attention to yourself.
Will you shut up? What is this, the Inquisition or something? Can't you see I'm working here? Now, if I want conversation, I'll go somewhere and find it.
I'm just interested.
Well, I am not. Now, I'm sick and tired of your questions, Sandy. I don't know who you are, what you want from me, but you're not getting any information from me.
What if I could afford to pay for it?
Come on, get out. Come on.
What the bloody hell's going on?
That's exactly what we're going to find out. This is the latest development in the Mystery Ladies quiz show.
Where did that come from?
She offered it to me for information.
Oh, did she now? So, decided to come out in the open, have you?
Now, it's our turn to ask questions, and the answers better come thick and fast, otherwise you are going to be carried out here in a stretcher!
Now, what department are you working for?
Oh, really, this isn't necessary.
What department?
I'm not from any department. I'm a journalist.
What? I'm a journalist. I had myself put in here on those driving charges on purpose. It's an assignment. My boss wanted a follow-up story on Judy's escape and those accusations she made on that videotape, and I offered to do it.
Bloody hell, a journo.
Now, listen. How do we know she's telling the truth? Why didn't you tell us before?
Because I didn't want you to know. In case you tried to get biased information through my newspaper.
Oh, so much for our copper's plant. A journo.